Hey, what's going on, guys? That one guy gaming here, and welcome to this game. I'm not sure how this is gonna work out. Okay, so this is a visual novel. Not a very happy one from what I read, but yeah, let's get started. Select title, transition, what? Size, what? Title, sure. Voice, yes. I do not know this is gonna be in Japanese. So, oh, that's nice. Spring 1996. Setsumi. I'm so sorry if I butcher these names. Even so, I attended an elementary school like all the others, and during summer breaks I often played until I was utterly tanned. June, shortly after my entry into middle school. The day after I ordered a swimsuit for use the next month. It was to use for the next month, not for use the next month. My first hospitalization. On a day just before the first semester midterms, on a day when the first drops of rain were so cruelly cold. Falling from the mist with the pure white and overcast sky. Of course, the first time it happened, all my classmates came to visit me almost every day. And when I was released, they even came to my house on weekends to play. But that was only the first time around. Autumn into winter, winter into spring, a vicious cycle, hospitalization, releases, release, clinics, and hospitalization again. And before I knew it, even the classmates I once called friends turned into acquaintances, then into strangers, as if with every changing of the seasons, I was being erased from their collective memories. My time seems to come to an end. Stage nada. Eight years later, early summer 2004, protagonist. Summer, flowing sweat. I can't speak. The gigantic electronic score born in the driver's license examination facility lit up all at once. My eyes and everyone else's looked for respective numbers. 237, 237. In some of the 8 columns of lit text. Sure enough, my examination was shining in the mist. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack. A nearly empty train car, perhaps thanks to the beautiful afternoon. Almost alone in that train car. I was heading back home from the examination hall. My left hand held a new traffic legislation handbook, and my breast pocket held my brand new driver's license. Hey! Good job, man. So now I got a license as well. I muttered somewhat happily. but there were no strong feelings behind it. I never particularly wanted to drive a car. I never particularly had a motive for it. It's just that my colleagues in Technical Institute both recommended that I at least get a driver's license. That night, when I told my parents that I'd gotten my license, they immediately replied with an "I see." Damn! Hush! And when I asked if I could borrow the car just for a test run, they instantly and curtly said just one thing: no. Well, I didn't want to drive the car or anything. The responsible was all too expected. Those were my parents for you. Jeez. Damn. You can at least give a kid a chance. Goddamn. The next day, I woke with chest pain and went to the hospital. Sickness which I generally had nothing to do with. Hold up. Figuration. There we are. Let's speed it up a bit. There. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Sickness and I generally had nothing to do with each other, which is why I found the ER waiting room to be utterly boring. And just when I thought they were through examining me, they ordered an x-ray and some blood tests, then they left. Oh, I was waiting in the room for a long time. I was already polished off 3 volumes of Shonen Jump, and I was about to start on the 4th when, what up? Do that. Let's speed up the autoplay. I think that's what it is. They admitted me to the hospital right then and there. And it seemed my new license, which still lay snugly in my breast pocket, would have to wait a long time for its turn to come. Protagonist, autumn 2004. Right around when the all too noisy cicadas had finally gone silent, I once again found myself in the hospital, as per usual. Of course, it wasn't as if I had been there for the entire time. I came and went, a futile cycle. My first surgery was a month before. After that, I started doing 5-minute commute to and from the hospital by moped. Meet. And from then on, I was hospitalized, discharged, ordered to the clinic, and hospitalized again and again and again. Now I still had no clue what PET or Iricea stood for. In no time at all, several months had already passed. As my appetite decreased, my medications increased. I could feel my own physical strength atrophying away. I don't know what that means. I kept imagining my legs were getting thinner, but the needle of the weight scale rudely informed me it's not just your imagination. And yet I kept looking on at myself with detached interest, as if it were happening to somebody else entirely, as if I was looking at a scene on TV or the like. My mind could not grasp what so suddenly happened to my body. Nothing within me was telling me that this was real at all. And that's why, even though it was all happening to me, I kept looking on as if it was happening to someone far away. Protagonist, winter 2004. A day of winter, around when Christmas trees had vanished from the streets. I was discharged home as a kind of year's end treat. It seemed like an exercise in total transience, but still it made me slightly happy. I drove back to a home I had not seen in a long time in the midst of the freezing rain. Strangely enough, my entire family was there. My parents, who had never so much as talked to me, came up to meet me with a terribly stilted smile. God damn! Your daughter's in the hospital, possibly some serious freaking disease, You don't even go to visit her? Goddamn, I would slug my parents. I'm pissed. And my little sister, with whom I'd never had a pleasant word, had made my favorite cream stew and fried shrimp just for me.
Don't trust your family. They don't love you no more.
What? They made me sit at the table. They peeled tangerines for me. They were cruelly kind. It was an impressive display. At this point, a little thought occurred to me about my new driver's license, which was still stuffed away in my pocket. That perhaps things would end for the license without even knowing any use. And surrounded by a trio of stilted, strange smiles, I kept that thought as if it were someone else's business, with dispassion and ambiguity and total disinterest. January 2005. A new year began. I returned to the hospital. But on this day, instead of my usual 4F room, I ended up in the conference room of sorts. They took me there. And then my father and the doctors had little talk. I joined in while they talked to me. So this was their so-called announcement. They said in terribly roundabout fashion. They told me that I was going to die. Okay. That took quite a turn, if I do say so myself. I see. That was my only reply. I had no other words. The only thing I had left in my mouth from beginning to end. And the doctor's ballpoint pens flew across the papers as if in the response to my words. Those were probably a hospice enrollment procedures, business-like to the last. My father was the same. So, it's this simple. That's the only real thought I had. That day, I was sent from 4F to 7F, from a 6-person room to a private room. It was a little different from the other wards, the 7F. First of all, all the floors were sparklingly clean, and second of all, the ceiling was higher than I've ever seen it. The rooms were very nice and had large windows from which the warm daylight streamed in as if by design. Well, yeah, but the windows only opened a little. I tested them out. My head would just barely fit out of one. To avoid people from jumping. If your head can barely fit through, you can technically fit your whole body through. But, whatever. The color of my ID bracelet had changed as well. The bracelet that I had worn ever since the first hospitalization, the one that had my name and blood type record on it. Its color has now changed from blue to white. A high ceiling, a white vinyl bracelet, a window that would not open more than 15 centimeters. The TV program celebrating the new year were still playing when I was transferred to the 7F. It was this dawn that very year I met her for the first time. We have like a Fault in Our Stars type shit. Oh, now you come in. Went to 2005 7F. I wish there was an overarching narrator. There was this place, kind of a large lounge at one side of the corridor, across from the nurse's station. This generally deserted place had few couches and chairs, as well as a large TV. Stupid programs and commemorating the new year were still being broadcast on the 28-inch screen. And there was a girl who looked absolutely bored watching that absolutely boring TV. God, it was so boring. God. In short, in pink pajamas, a white bracelet on her wrist, just like mine. impressively long hair that almost reached down to her hips. Oh my, that is quite long hair, no matter what height you are. Hey, do you find that interesting? There was no deep purpose in the asking. Simply, I had nothing else to do, so I started talking to her. Not really. Was her only reply to me. She didn't turn to face me at all. She kept looking on with boredom at that TV as if it didn't even exist. Then, don't watch it. Even as I thought this, I sat down in the chair next to her. And side by side we watched TV, nothing else to do, nothing we could do. So we sat there silently and watched TV. We had celebration programs, as per usual, used to celebrate comedians and oddities. And the result, the MC's stupid shrill laughter resounding dryly in this white sun-drenched lounge. The girl suddenly started talking to me, but her eyes were as always glued to the TV screen. What do you mean by that? Sorry, I have no clue what you're talking about. So she seen my confusion about her question and come to the right conclusion. Duty. Nodding slightly, she explained that the rule was that someone here at 7F should tell newcomers the truth. I knew nothing. I understood even less. As if I didn't even exist, she slowly started her speech. Ooh, then listen closely. That. Her words, spoken methodically, one by one, were a little different from all the ones I'd heard from the doctors about this place. In their business-like, crisp syntaxes, they told me, this is a place where one waits for medical advances. This is a place where one heals one's heart. Perhaps they might have been correct in a general sense. But according to the girl, that was just part of the party line. The truth was that this 7F was the only place in the hospital where medical treatments did not take place. What? This was just a place where you wait for your life to come to an end. Oh! That's nice. That's comforting. Those were her words to me. I thought so as well. I felt it even before she spoke. Second time doing what? And then she explained to me that nobody on 7F stayed here from the initial hospitalization all the way until death. Well, there was zero possibility. Stop. English? Well, there was zero possibility of being cured. You were sent home as if your condition was stable. But if it worsened again, you'd be returned here. That cycle ended only in death. Whether it was at home or here in 7F, always one of the two. You were going to die. No way to escape it, it seemed. And with that, meaning permanent meeting, her words, she informed me that this was our second time up here. She continued speaking while staring at the blank TV screen. Alright guys, I think I'm going to end it here. A little bit of just something new. So hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys. Let me save. Save. Yes. And I will see you guys the next time. Later.